What's up guys, Chris from TheCubicle here, and today we're going to take a look at the Haze 7M. Is it really as good as it was hyped up to be? Before we get into this video, we have a brief message from Kevin Hayes about the process of creating this cube.
Hey everyone, Kevin Hayes here. The initial concept of the Haze 7 and Haze Big Cube line was initially discussed by Yuxin and myself over 2 years ago, and I'm very excited to now have helped produce a 7x7 that I am proud of. Yuxin initially produced the first round of Haze 7 prototypes in early 2018, and after a few rounds of feedback and tweaks to the original design, we settled on something we both thought to be amazing. Among the main selling points of the cube are its small, compact size, which allows it to fit easily in the hand and to be more controllable than any of the other 7x7s in the market, as well as the extremely fast and smooth feel to the cube, something that Yuxin cubes have always been known for. Additionally, the Haze 7 boasts impressive corner cutting, equal to that or exceeding standard 4x4 or 5x5 hardware, and significantly better than any other 7x7 on the market today. After the design was nearly complete, I was also tasked with picking the magnets and springs that would go in the cube. While the spring choice was fairly straightforward, the magnet one was not, and I spent many hours deliberating over the ideal choice. Ultimately, the magnets used in the cubes have stronger strength on the inner two layers and weaker ones on the outer layers. We believe this is the optimal design for elite speed solving and allows for stability during centers and edge pairing while giving the cube a buttery, smooth feel on the outer layers that you would expect when solving a 3x3. To set up my Haze 7, I simply have it set on the tightest tensions possible without affecting the speed, and I add in a little D&M to help speed it up. This combination is what I've been using for the past few months to great success. I hope that everyone who purchases the Haze 7 enjoys their cube, and we're looking forward to producing more cubes in the Haze line in the future.
So now one of the first things we must address is the drop in people's time since the cube's release. There have been 7 world records on this cube all before it was released. The world record single dropped from 206 to an absolutely incredible 147. That time is so ridiculously fast that if you took it and ranked it in 6x6, it would actually appear in the top 100 for single. Also crazy, the world record mean dropped from 213 to 157. The mean is now almost 10 seconds faster than what the previous world record single was before this cube. These types of big record leaps aren't something we've seen in an event for quite some time now. The Haze is probably one of the most disruptive cubes in the cubing market that we've seen in the last few years. Now a little personal note, prior to this cube, 7x7 was not an event that I did. I had absolutely no desire to practice, and before getting this cube, I would only do 7x7 in competition. Back in the spring, Kevin let me borrow his Haze for a 7x7 round, and at the time, my PB official mean was 402 and my official single was 350. I had not done any 7x7 practice for years. With no warm-up solves at this competition, I proceeded to get a 348 mean and a 340 single. Because of the Haze, I dropped my mean below my previous single with 0 practice. Unfortunately, I didn't have access to a Haze at my next competition, and I had to use the Wuji. Predictably, my mean went back up to 424 and my best single was 414. I think it's safe to say that the cube allowed me to get some amazing time drops with virtually no effort. I've also seen this trend in various posts online from other cubers. After finally getting my own Haze, I did around 50 solves for practice. At my last competition, WisCube 2018, I dropped my mean from 348 to 315 and my single from 340 to 310, which are a 33 second and 30 second drops respectively. These are huge amounts of times to drop for not doing very many solves, and I don't remember the last event where simply buying a new puzzles dropped my times like this. Now let's talk about attributes that make this cube so nice. The size is a great place to start. The Wuji, which was the previous popular 7x7, was 69.5 millimeters. The Haze 7, in contrast, measures in at 67 millimeters, which allows for significantly better handling and grip. My hands feel much less stressed, which allows me to turn at faster speeds with greater fluidity. Size alone is a great reason to buy this cube if you have smaller hands. The feel is pretty comparable to most Yuxin big cubes. It feels a bit more on the hollow side, but it definitely does not feel cheap. And it's also very smooth. I believe the speed can be set up to satisfy a lot of different people, I lubed mine with weight 5 and feel the speed is very adequate. But if you wanted it to be faster, you could definitely put a lighter lube in to achieve this. One thing that I feel is very notable about the Cube is its fantastic low stress turning. Previous 7x7s would tire me out after doing a handful of solves. The Haze's lighter turning and the smaller size allow for me to solve for longer without experiencing fatigue. The magnet strength has felt fine for me as well. I'm not extremely picky when it comes to my magnets, as long as they aren't stronger than necessary. The inner layers have stronger and snappier magnets that are great when you're turning many inner layers at once for edge pairing. The outer layer magnets are definitely on the lighter side and feel much less noticeable. I would say if they were any lighter that they probably wouldn't do much, but I do find that they help keep my outer layers just a bit more aligned. But they are definitely on the weaker side compared to the inners. The last thing to mention is that this Cube is much more flexible than other 7x7s. Previously, I felt they were all very rigid and blocky, requiring much more precision to execute moves fluidly. A few 7x7 solvers who are faster than me have expressed some slight concern about the flex, but for me, a cuber with a lighter, faster turning style, I love the flex and I think it's a big advantage over other 7x7s on the market. As a side note to mention, we have seen some people who have commented that the pieces and/or caps can be slightly discolored. We have experienced this as well, but it is easily solved by popping off the cap and wiping the piece down with a damp cloth. After this, the discoloring goes away. Yuxin has also noticed this and took measures to manufacture more consistently. As far as pops and misalignments go, I've experienced 0 pops and very minimal misalignments. In fact, I've experienced so few that I really can't even think of an example where one has happened. This is nice to see because these problems can be very frustrating for big cubes. Overall, the Haze 7 absolutely delivers on the performance that it was hyped up to have. It was designed with competition in mind with the help of one of the sport's greatest 7x7 solvers. If you're into 7x7, this is definitely a cube that you should be considering. It's one of the biggest hardware leaps in a long time and certainly allows for rapid time drops for many solvers that I don't believe were as possible previously. We hope you guys enjoyed the video, thanks for watching, and we will see you later.